Greetings and welcome to another British Guy Reacts, and in this video a British guy is reacting to the South USA, the don'ts of visiting the South. If you like reaction videos, don't forget to subscribe because I post every week. And this video is taken from Mark of Wolters World, link in the description and the comments, go check him out. If you have ideas and suggestions for more videos, then comment below. Now let's get on with it.
Hey there fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're here in Savannah, Georgia. And today we're going to cover for you are the don'ts of visiting the south of the US, and specifically the southeast, you know, the deep south, the Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, South Carolina, this kind of stuff, because there's some things you should know.
I've heard there's lovely food in the south as well.
They're different than the traditional don'ts of the US.
Iced tea. Now, I've never actually had iced tea, so I shouldn't really comment, but the thought of iced tea doesn't really, I should try it really and then comment, but it doesn't really appeal to me.
There's specific, in general, there's something we want to focus on just for here in the South. And the first don't I have for you is don't forget your manners. Look, manners are a huge thing in the South. Whether you're a little kid or you're an old man, you need to have your manners when you're here.
I think anyway you should be polite. And I appreciate in lots of different countries they have different ways of saying things. I mean, over here we're very please and thank yous, and in other countries you say please and thank you, you're almost being over polite. But manners cost nothing.
Do use your pleases and thank yous and yes ma'am and yes sir and things like that. That is not optional. That is how you speak when you're here, and you always show people respect, especially people that are older than you, okay? So you will be holding the door for...
Okay, if someone says bless your heart, it can have multiple meanings.
And things like that. And I'll tell you, don't you ever let an old Southern woman or an old Southern man or anyone that seems older than you stand up.
I think that goes without saying, really. I think if you want to bust as a pregnant lady, you give up your seat. As a gentleman, if you see anyone elderly or have any physical disabilities, you give up your seat for them, because that's just what you do.
You always give up your chair to the older ladies or the older gentlemen when you are there, because it is a sign of respect. That's how...
Exactly right. It's just a sign of respect. Respect your elders.
Works here in the South, because manners are a huge thing when you are here. And another thing is don't forget to smile when you are here. You'll see how happy and friendly the people are. And one of the parts that is just this happy-go-lucky...
Again, if there's anything that you agree or disagree with, comment below. I'd love to hear from you.
...nature that you have here in the South. So don't forget to smile, because you will have a good time. And with that is, don't be surprised if people randomly start up conversations with you when you are here in the South. Going grocery shopping, if you pass by somebody maybe twice in two different...
Over here, it would be, if someone started doing that would kind of make you feel a bit uncomfortable, because sort of like, you know, if you got an angle here, why are you being nice? But I think that's wonderful to be like that.
Aisles, don't be surprised you strike up a conversation out of the blue on the next aisle. It is a completely normal thing here, because the Southerners are super friendly. I know, we were at a restaurant here in town a couple days ago. My credit card fell through the crack in the floor, like it was like a deck kind of thing that they had built up. They pried up the floor to get my card out. I'm like, dude, wow. I can call and cancel the card. It's okay. They're like, no, we got this taken care of. The people in the South are super friendly, so don't freak out about it. It's not fake. They are really that friendly and that helpful. So don't be scared to ask for help when you come here. That's another don't I have for you, because you're going to see towns like Savannah or Charleston. There's so much history here. You're not sure, what should I be looking at here? I mean, you have this picture. What should I look at? Well, you got the cotton exchange right there. Like, oh, there's a historic building. You got the fountains, and you've got the Capitol building. You have these things. You're like...
I need to ask how exactly you eat boiled peanuts. Let me know. I've got no idea. How do you eat boiled peanuts? I don't even know how they would come. In the shell or what? But yeah, let me know.
Wow. It is kind of a cool thing to check out.
Did he say wow then? I really like Mark Wolters from Wolters World. I think his channel is excellent. If he says wow, I'm going to laugh.
Right there. Like, oh, there's a historic building. You got the fountains, and you got the Capitol building. You have these things. You're like, wow, yes. It is kind of a cool thing to check out, but you want to know more. And the
See, I've started a craze. Wow.
Do have a lot of pride in their hometowns, in their home states and stuff like that, that they will share that with you. So don't be afraid to ask, hey, we're the best biscuits in town. We're gonna get the best, the strongest drinks in town. They will be friendly and they will help you out. One of the things is when you do talk to the Southerners, you might notice that sometimes they're an accent. And what I will say is, don't think that accent makes them stupid, okay? Just because someone has an accent doesn't make them like not know something or be less intelligent or whatever. And you have this stereotype that...
There's a stereotype in England. I live in the southwest of England. And obviously the southeast is London, and you've got the cities going around, but there's a bit of a stigma if you're from the what we call West Country, which is like southwest. There's lots of farms. And a lot of people, they kind of talk like a bit like that, and they, you know, we go farming and things like that. And there's a big stigma about people from the southwest, and that's me included, because I was born down here. They're a bit thick. There's a saying where I'm from: Dorset born, Dorset bred, strong in the arm and thick in the head.
TV and radio and movies really kind of promote is, oh, if you got an accent, you must be some kind of hillbilly. Do not think that the Southerners are hillbillies. Don't think their accent makes them stupid. It's not the case. You can have some great conversations with people when you are here, and they'll know more than you actually think they do. And so I want to give you the heads up on that. And another don't I have with you is, when you are here and you do bring your kids, don't be surprised if your kids are acting up, if the locals will tell your kid, hey, straighten up, hey, get it together.
Oh dear, I like that. I do like that. If your kid's playing up, you're like, shut up, you little kid. Stop doing that. Stop breaking that. Stop kicking that.
You will see that.
Parents should be trying to keep an eye on their kids all the time, but
here
it doesn't always happen.
People do scold other people's kids when you're here in the South. And I know if you're in the North or you're in California, West Coast or something like that, and someone tells your kid, hey, watch it, kid. You're like, don't tell my kid what to do. I've had people do that to us before. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, your kid just kicked me. Am I supposed to let your kid, you know, hit me or something? Here, that stuff doesn't fly. Your kid's acting up.
You can always threaten not to take one of the fun outdoor activities.
Just
yeah.
Be prepared to have people call you out on that, because remember, number one, manners, okay? And that goes from young to old, so make sure.
I completely 100% agree with that. Manners cost nothing.
Little Johnny or little Susie know that, hey, you say yes ma'am, yes sir, please and thank you, and you don't make a mess, all right? So just a heads up on that one. Now, when they do call out your kids for the behavior, they're not judging you and judging your parental skills and stuff like that. What they kind of do here in the South is, it's the old mantra, it takes a village to raise a child, and so the whole village is helping out raising the child.
Community spirit, yeah.
So don't be offended by it. Because you know what? It is hot when you're here, and that's my next don't is, don't melt when you come to the South. Look, July and August, oppressive heat in pretty much the entire deep South. And in lots of places, oppressive humidity. Like you walk out and you're like, oh, I'm gonna melt and die, oh, help me God. You do have that when you are here. So if you're gonna come, there's a reason why so many people winter in the South, because it's got nice weather in the winter. So come down here from October till April, and you're not gonna have the insane heat. You're gonna have nice weather and less humidity.
No matter how hot it gets, don't jump in the fountains.
But don't expect to not die of the heat and humidity if you do come in July and August. So I'll be honest with
green
that,
fountains.
it can be pretty bad.
Let me know, why is green fountains? Is that some kind of, they put some kind of dye in there?
Be honest with that, it can be pretty bad, okay?
Wow.
And I guess one of the other don'ts I'll have for you is, if you're really hot and you want to get a drink and you go in, they might ask you, hey, you know, what kind of Coke do you want? You're like, what? So
I've heard this before. Coke represents basically like a soda or, you know, a pop drink. So if you say, what Coke do you want? I'd have gone like, Diet Coke. And I wouldn't be thinking they might mean like Tango or Sprite or 7-Up or one of the other sort of sodas. So yeah, crazy. Oh, good. That's just good. That's something I learned.
Don't think that Coke just means Coke. Here, a lot of times what you'll see is they'll say, hey, what kind of Coke you want? They mean, what kind of soda would you like? What kind of pop or sody pop or drink? It's just
sody pop. I like that.
The word they use for soda is Coke, okay? So don't freak out. You're like, I don't drink Coke. Yeah, I know. We have lots of different Cokes, Sprite, Dr. Pepper, whatever. You do have that when you are here. Now, the last 2 years, I've definitely seen a drop off in the number of places where they do use Coke as the de facto word for soda or soda pop. So you might not see it too often, but occasionally you will. So I just want to give you that heads up. And the thing is, if you're gonna meet up with Southerners to have a drink, whether it's a Coke or a beer or whatever, is you gotta realize is, don't expect the Southerners to be on time. There's definitely a much more laissez-faire attitude with time here in the South. And as Jocelyn will tell you, look, with this kind of humidity, how's my hair gonna dry? You know, these kind of things, it takes a little bit more time. Or Jocelyn will tell me, hey, I've gotta get my face on. Look, the thing is time is very relevant here. So if you're setting up a time, hey, let's meet at 8 o'clock, they might not be there till 8:30 or something like that or later. And don't worry if they write, she's like, oh, we're on our way. And that means like, I'm getting in the shower, okay? So the more time you spend here, you'll realize that Yeah, on time. No.
A bit more sort of laid back.
Always a thing to expect to have here. Now, going back to that drinky kind of thing, another thing you need to know is when you get tea here, don't think your tea is going to be unsweetened, okay? In the South, you drink sweet tea, period, end of story. Unsweetened tea belongs in one place, down a drain, all right? So if you're gonna get tea, it's gonna be sweet tea, all right? And it's really good. And don't think that sweet tea is tea plus sugar. No, no, no.
Wow, I didn't know that. Margarita. Southern Comfort Mango, nice.
For all my friends, when you go to a restaurant in the north and you ask for sweet tea, they say, oh, I have sugar packets with the tea. You're like, no, that's not the same thing, all right? So don't expect unsweetened tea when you're here. But the thing is if you're looking at food, honestly, if you're gonna be coming to the South, don't bring tight clothes, or at least bring a belt with a couple extra loops on it, because you're gonna eat
yeah, I don't wear tight clothes, built for comfort.
So much when you're here, because there's so much good food, from the fried chicken, the biscuits, the grits, oh my God.
Look at that waffle.
There's so much fantastic food that, yes, you will get quite big when you are here. I mean, I'll show you a picture of before I started coming to the South, and this is what I look like now, okay? So heads up with that. So don't forget a bit more room in your clothing when you are here. Now, my next stones kind of focus on some misconceptions of Southern food. No, they don't fry everything, but they do fry a lot. But honestly, my biggest stone would be that, look, don't think that
If you are from the South, tell me what your favourite food, your favourite dishes. If you're not from the South and you have travelled down to the South, what was your favourite dish? I'd love to know.
Barbecue goes on the grill. The grilling things you grill on your barbecue at home is hot dogs and burgers and steaks. Barbecue here in the South is smoked meat.
Didn't know that.
Whether it is, of course, a Boston butt. Oh my.
What is that? Oh my God.
You got pulled
I'm dribbling.
pork is fantastic. Or you're having brisket or whatever. You have the smoked meat that's been on there for hours and hours, and it makes it all succulent and
It just falls apart.
juicy, and it's so good. And that's why when you're in the South, you're eating barbecue all over the place. Because the thing is, if you're thinking that barbecue is just grilled meat, think about it. If you put a steak or any kind of meat on your grill straight on the flames for 7 hours, you know what you'd have? Charcoal, okay? It's not the same thing. So don't think barbecue is on the grill. It's in a smoker, just
I'm actually really hungry now.
getting all those flavors. So definitely get barbecue when you are here. I'm not gonna lie to you. Another don't I have for you actually dealing with those barbecue thing is, don't be surprised if the barbecue sauce you have varies from state to state. So here in Georgia, we have sweet barbecue sauce, right? But if you go to South Carolina, it's like a barbecue-based barbecue sauce. If you go to North Carolina, it's a vinegar-based barbecue sauce. If you go to Memphis, well, Memphis, they use a dry rub on their ribs. And so you have all these different kinds of barbecue you could have. I mean, I was in Alabama, and oh my God, I had some fantastic ribs when I was there. And here in Savannah, I'm doing the pulled pork, and I mean, you just have all these different variations. So don't think, oh, I'm doing a Southern tour. We had barbecue in North Carolina. I don't need to have it again. You should, because it will be different in each place you
Did not know that. Did you guys know that?
go. And one thing that kind of goes along with the regional differences in the barbecue is also, don't think that all the South is the same. I mean, if you're going to Atlanta, it's a very different experience than coming here to Savannah or going to Charleston, which is very different than going to New Orleans or Natchez in Mississippi, or going to Memphis versus Nashville or Knoxville, or going to the Outer Banks and these kind of things. You have a lot of different kind of regional differences in the South, whether it's geography, whether it's people, whether it's food and cuisine and stuff like that. And yes, different types of barbecue that are out there. So don't think it's all the same. Don't think, well, I went to Atlanta, I saw the South. No, you saw part of the South.
Don't skip out on the Waffle House.
Go and explore more of it. Another don't I have for you has to do with that beautiful Spanish moss you see behind me. See it just kind of dripping down there. Oh, it is so cool. And you want to go and grab some and hold it like, oh, should I wear it as a shawl? Look, my don't for you. So you're in the coastal part of the South and you see Spanish moss, don't touch it. There's little buggies in there. There's little...
Really? Again, did you know that? I don't think I would go up to a tree and start putting Spanish moss on me, but yeah, didn't know that.
There's in there that will bite you and bite you and bite you, and you get all itchy and stuff like that. So don't try to make your own I'm going to be Mark Wolters picture and stuff it in your shirt so you get a big belly like me. Don't do that, okay? Because that stuff, man, you'll be like, can't make it stop. And that's more, I mean, most people would know to do that, not to do that. But I have seen a lot of kids, they'll go and start playing with it and their parents don't realize it. So I want to make sure you know, don't play with the Spanish moss. Now, a fashion don't I have for you, and I know I am not the person to listen to about fashion.
Honestly, I love this guy, Mark Wolters, brilliant.
And that's okay, is if you're a tourist, don't worry if you feel underdressed. Look, here in the South, you can, I mean, there's fashion, all fashion is acceptable here. You'll see people wearing flip-flops and G-strings, and you'll see people wearing their Southern
G-strings, really? Just out on the street.
In their seersucker suits, you'll see that. And the thing is, though, if you go to, for example, you go to a football game in Georgia, guess what? You'll see people in heels. We were at the grocery store at Publix, and people are doing their grocery shopping in heels. It's not an uncommon thing. So don't feel that you have to dress up that nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, people will be appreciative of it, but you don't have to dress up that nice when you are here. So another don't in the South is don't mess with the mayonnaise. And in the South, you got two great mayonnaise. The best is Duke's. This is what you always want to get.
Really? Do you agree with that?
Blue Plate, also very much an acceptable kind of thing. Not Miracle Whip. No, never that. But Duke's, Blue Plate, you'll be good to go, and you'll get it on all kinds of stuff. Now, another Southern food I want to give you a don't for are grits, okay? And my thing is, don't...
Grits? What's that?
I think grits are just for breakfast. Because when you see grits, they look like a cream of wheat or an oatmeal or a porridge kind of thing. But the thing is...
Never heard of that.
Look like that, but they're actually made out of hominy. If you're not sure what hominy is, it's like...
No.
Corn derivative, so you do have that. But the thing is, you look at it, you think, oh, this is gonna be like a porridge. It's only for breakfast. Oh, no, 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 no. Grits are good any time of the day. You can have normal plain grits or cheese grits, which is always good. My personal favorite, if you're looking for something like a lunch or a dinner thing, shrimp and grits, oh my God, it is so good. So don't think grits are just for breakfast. It may look like it, but it so isn't. And going along with that, don't think biscuits are the same here as well, because biscuits in the South, there's a different kind of flour they use. So make sure if you get a chance to grab some biscuits.
What our biscuits are, normally you dunk them in your tea. It's like a digestive biscuit. Sometimes you get chocolate on top.
Whatever you can, because oh my God, they are so good. Seriously, don't pass up the food in the South. I've said it before, I'll say it again.
Yeah, that does look nice.
So good, from the fried chicken to the pecan pie to, oh my God, anything you have here is awesome. And the thing is, if you're going to cities like Savannah, you'll have traditional Southern cuisine, you know, collards and stuff like that. But you also have newer kind of fusion kind of Southern food, so you can have all kinds of great mixes. Now, another thing you should know is when you come to the South, I know when people come from around the world to come visit the US, we have a very popular sport here in the US we call football, or you might call American football. And here in the South, it's like a religion. People love their SEC football. They have their Georgia Bulldog shirts on, or their Alabama, the Crimson Tide, or LSU or whatever. They really love their football in the South, okay? And so if you're gonna make this thing, oh, it's boring, soccer's better, or basketball's better, just don't. Just don't. I'm telling you right now, it is not worth the headache of the discussion, because they love their football here. They're super passionate about it. And don't pass up the chance to go to a football game on a Saturday.
I would go there. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know the rules of American football, but I would like to go just for the experience.
In the fall, because it'll be a great experience, not just for the game, but don't miss out on tailgating, the party before the game when you're...
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I've heard about this. All the trucks and that will have like food, barbecues, drink, big sound systems. I've not been to one, but I've heard it's like a big party beforehand. I mean, what better way to sort of build up towards a big game?
Grilling out and you're drinking beer with your buddies and stuff like that. It's a whole experience, and you'll see that, wow, why is it on this Saturday, it's from 3 till 6, the city was empty. Oh, because the Georgia Bulldogs were playing, and so everybody in town was watching the game. You do have that when you are here. And I guess another don't I'll give you.
If you could let me know, if anyone does know, the Georgia Bulldogs, how big is that stadium? What's the capacity of that stadium? If anyone could let me know, that'd be great.
Is when you're preparing for that tailgate and you're going to the grocery store or the grocery, when you get your stuff, you know that little thing you fill up with all the groceries, that thing you push around, don't call it a cart here. It's called a buggy, all right?
So in the UK, one of my videos, and I'm going to put a tag up here, is I do the difference between American and British words. And one of them, and I've got a story about shopping cart. We actually call them in the UK trolleys. And I had this conversation with this guy, he didn't understand what I was on about. But buggy is another one that I've heard. And in the UK, buggy, we normally say a buggy might be like a pushchair or something. Sometimes we call them buggies as well. But yeah, fascinating.
It's a buggy you push around. And my last don't for you is, don't skip out on visiting the South. You will fall in love with it, with amazing architecture, amazing people, tons of...
It seems incredible. If you're from the south, give your home state a shout out and let me know about the state that you live in. That's another one. My bucket list is getting huge now.
Beautiful towns to visit. You go to Natchez, Mississippi, on the Mississippi River, and seeing all the homes there, or visiting New Orleans and seeing the history there and the Creole culture, or maybe you're heading up to Oxford, Mississippi, where Ole Miss is, or you're heading through Alabama, or you're coming here into Savannah, Georgia, or going to Charleston, or hitting Atlanta, the mega metropolis of the South, going up to Asheville for amazing beer, or hitting the Outer Banks. There's so much great things to enjoy in the South that you really want to go and explore. And that's why I tell people, don't try to see the whole US, pick a region and focus on that. And the South is a great region to see because you can drive around lots of places. The roads are good because there's no freezing and thawing, so the highways stay even, which is awesome. And you really, really love it because the people, they care about their cities, they care about their towns, they have a very much pride in those places.
Oh, good for them. That's good to hear. So you should.
So they want to share that with the tourists like you, like me, so you will fall in love with places like that.
So what did you think of the video? Drop a comment below if you've got anything to add. If there's anything you disagree with, again, let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe with notifications on because I post every week. Again, a huge thanks to Mark at Wolters World. Links in the description. I'm a big fan of Mark's. Hopefully one day I'll get to talk to him. And all that leaves me to say is take care, God bless, and see you in the next video.